Camera's on. Okay, I'm gonna call the meeting to order. It's 7:02. Okay, so first on the agenda is the Route 44 development. There have been some updates on that. The thing that's coming to mind is
Well, there was a meeting out there, right?
there was a meeting. I didn't make the meeting, and I'm not sure that either of you ever went to the meeting either. However, the town administrator wants to put together a working group he wants to meet every week. I guess it's every week. The Chief Weston, the chair of the redevelopment authority, and the town administrator want to put together a group of individuals, players, in all of this. And he wants to meet once a week, but it's on Friday mornings. And I'm not going to be able to make it.
I work Fridays.
You work Fridays.
Can't
Okay.
have any of us.
So, I will get back to him. Thursday mornings at 8:30 just isn't a good time for me or really anybody else. So
Not for the working class.
I'll get back to him, and maybe we can make some adjustments to this particular time. And
I work Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays.
yeah, well, I work
Every day.
every day. So, but I can squeeze it in if I need to. But every Friday morning at 8:30, I think my boss would be like, yep. So that's not going to happen. But I'll get back to him and see if maybe we can make some adjustments to that time and place. Dave, service connections, have any new service connections been asked for on the Santana Way?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. So he
I've
might.
been down there. I was down there last week, Thursday. I didn't go today because it was pouring out.
Yep.
So last time I went down there, and I think early in the week, and Mike had given the group a day off, so nobody was there. I went back there Thursday because I'm down in that area Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and then I've got two other guys because I've got to be up here a couple days a week.
Mm-hmm.
So the day that I was down there, Thursday last week, they were on the second road. They were going up to the second road. Mike wasn't there. What I did notice is there were services. They had started doing the services.
Okay. Are we talking about Plymouth Street or Santana Way? I think you're talking about Plymouth Street.
Okay, I wasn't sure if Santana Way was one of those two roads.
No, Santana Way is further up on Plymouth Street. That's the 32 unit subdivision that's off of Plymouth Street.
Yeah, I talked to Amanda today.
Yep.
And I think she's having problems with one homeowner, one meter that's not registering there, and I guess that's the only thing I know on Santana Way.
Okay.
It's more of a one unit kind of thing,
Right.
up there. So that's about all as I'm familiar with what's going on over there.
Okay. So, because I know he was going to buy his own meters.
Oh, that I haven't heard.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the original agreement that we had with the developer. He didn't like the fact that we mark up when we purchase the meters and we sell them back to the developer. We do markup, and he wanted to kind of save himself some money, and we agreed that was perfectly fine. But he's been purchasing the meters, so maybe it just has something to do with the radio read or something.
I was going to say, if he's purchasing the meters, then he's got to make sure that those are able to read with what unit you have.
Well, I mean, if you're exactly. If the radio read is able to pick up the other units, I would say that there might be just something wrong with this particular one.
Okay. Amanda has told me that what she didn't get over there on that unit was the information.
Oh.
So she didn't get the information on the reader.
Okay.
I talked to Mike about that.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, and he almost assures me that all the information, because he takes pictures of everything,
Yeah,
and he sent that along. So I'm kind of caught in between. So I said to her, I says, listen, we can do this one of two ways. If I get into the home, I can get you the serial number and the reader code on the box.
yep,
I says, I can get you that. I says, either that or you put in a new meter. And then we have all the information on the new meter.
okay,
So I didn't know that these were sold separately at
yes,
the time of talking to her today.
yep,
Thursday, I'm going around town reading meters on Thursday.
yep, I figured that.
So, yeah, so if that's something that she can figure out before then,
Okay.
then I can most definitely can do that for her.
Okay,
So, that's kind of how I left it up
Yep.
with her.
yep, if you,
So-
if you can't get that information, maybe you could reach out to the homeowner and gain access to the meter and just take a
Yep.
picture of it and send it through.
That's all we need to do, pretty
Yep.
much.
Okay,
So
okay,
that's
so,
pretty much that on Santana.
okay, so now we can get into Plymouth Street, and I know that they've got most of the work is done. They're basically off of Plymouth Street at this point. And,
Yeah.
Today
Yeah,
when
they
I
moved
came
along
home,
really well.
today when I came home, they were working on Perkins Way.
Okay.
So they're not quite done. And I guess the service connections are all stubbed out. So,
Yep. Yeah, I've seen that.
yep. But I guess we're still waiting for bids back on the actual connections, the actual service connections. The Oliver Construction wasn't going to be doing the actual service connections. They were just going to be doing the water main.
Okay. This is where the confusion comes in,
Yep,
because I'm dealing with two Kevins out there, you and the other Kevin.
yep,
So one of you guys called me up last week looking for the serial, not the model number, and off the meters.
yes,
And I'm like, okay, I'm not sure. The meters usually have a serial number on them. The model number, that I couldn't find. I took pictures of it. I
okay,
just couldn't find it anywhere on there. So I don't know if it's what I collected was the actual model number or not.
Okay,
Usually
so-
those come in a box and they're all labeled.
yeah. Kevin called me.
Okay.
I think it was probably the week before, and I told him to touch base with Small Water about what the model number was, because we use a particular model Neptune meter,
Right.
and it's designed to work with our radio read.
Do you guys? I swear I saw a box that said Bay State on it. Is that where you guys get those meters from, Bay State?
I wouldn't be able to tell you that. I think
Well,
we
Thai
I
Sales,
think we
maybe
get them
it's
from
Thai
Thai Sales.
Thai Sales.
Yeah.
So we can talk to the guys at Thai Sales.
Okay.
And I deal with those guys all the time, Joe and that crew over there.
Yeah.
So they're in Sudbury. They're like 20 minutes from our office.
Right. And I think
So-
that's why we use them.
Okay, so I
Yep.
can talk with those guys and get that information for you.
Okay.
They're all standard meters, right? 5/8.
Basically, it's we basically just use whatever the standard meter is, and I know there's a bracket that has to get because they sell the parts separately, the
Right.
meter, and then there's a bracket that we have to get that attaches it to whatever we need to attach it to.
Yeah, I think I'll have to talk to Mike, but I think there's an angle valve that goes in there and a
Mm-hmm.
compression fitting.
Yep.
So if you guys, if that's stuff that you guys need, because plumbers usually don't do that. That's usually the water department
Exactly.
does that.
Yep.
So, and you got to go into these homes and see what it looks like.
Right.
See where the well line's coming in, where you're going to bring the service in.
Yep.
So that kind of gets a little tricky. Usually, whoever does that tie-in, they bring it into the house, and then they ask the water department, "Can you come in and put the compression fitting in and the valve in,
Yep.
and then put your meter on, and we'll have it all set up for the plumbing where you can just there'll be a valve on the other side, you can connect, and then typically the water department turns on the street valve, and we blow out any air in the line before we start sending it into the house.
That's the impression that I got from Mike.
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly the way it's done. So we need, so I just want to write this down. So we want to do 5/8 standard meters, right?
Right, and it's just a matter of, he's just trying to price it right now.
Okay,
He needs to go to bid for the actual service connections.
okay,
And he's still doing the research on the number of connections that we're gonna need, the number of meters that we're gonna need. I know we're committed to connecting 19 homes, but it's possible that some of those 19 homes won't want connections.
okay.
So.
Yeah, you don't
we-
want to buy extras if you don't have to.
Exactly, we don't, which is why he's trying to cost it.
Yep,
So
Okay.
if you could just get back to Kevin Ford with the information that he needs for the meters, he can finish doing his costing.
okay. So you guys would be ordering those, not Swiss?
No, you guys, well, actually, the town of Carver would be ordering them because the Plymouth Street extension is being managed by
Right,
the town of Carver through its Board of Health and through a consent order with the DEP. The town of Carver would actually be doing the ordering.
okay,
You understand, Dave, it's not ours until after it's done, and we accept it.
Yeah, this is all under a DEP consent order with the town of Carver.
right.
Yeah,
right.
that's the whole cause behind all of this.
Yeah, you just want to have all the material ready. For,
Exactly.
You know, whoever says go, you know, we can get in there and go. So
Exactly,
as
but not
far
more,
as-
but not more than we need. I mean, you know,
obviously, right. So I'm taking it. So we're all on the same page. Whoever's doing the install, the dig from the service connection to the house, they get all that material. The only material the town needs is the meter and the fittings for the meter and the
That's-
shut off in the house.
that's the only information that he needs
Okay.
from us. Everything else is being managed through the Board of Health.
Okay, so we also need shut-offs, compression fittings.
You know, if there's any backflow needed, then, you know, you need to kind of let Kevin know about that as well.
That I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
I'm-
only going to be if people have irrigation.
I'm assuming that once the connection to the town municipal system is made available, that their wells will be decommissioned. However, some people like to save their wells to do things like irrigation and non-domestic kinds of things. So they'll need to be cross-connection, you know, surveys and all of that stuff is going to need to happen as well.
Okay, so as far as decommissioning the wells, and that's I don't know who's paying that cost. Sometimes that can get a little pricey.
I'm assuming that that's part of the installation.
Okay, because I was going to say some people might say, well, can I use it for irrigation?
Exactly,
It just has to be disconnected from inside their home.
exactly.
You know,
It can
would
only
be a
go
little-
to irrigation.
Yeah, so essentially what they would do is they would keep the well line, the pump's already in there, the equipment's already in there,
Yep.
and then they really just run it right outside the side of the house.
Yep,
Get a plumber in there and an irrigation company, and yep, we already have the well, this is what we got, boom, super. It's pretty, I don't want to say it's pretty simple, but it's pretty standard. I've seen that done a bunch.
yeah.
So it's not a big, you know, like you said, it's just a matter of how many homes we need. Okay, and these are remotes. Meters for Carver, it's remote readers. Okay, and they've already supplied you guys with. Do you know, Kevin? Do you know how long ago you guys ordered those meters from Thai Sales? Is that a few years ago? Or?
Oh, geez, I think the last time we ordered meters from Thai Sales would have been when the church was rehabilitated,
Yep.
Okay.
which would be probably, I'm going to say it was probably 2 years ago.
Okay. Good, because that'll be in their records.
Yeah. There was a 2-inch meter for the fire protection, which was very expensive, and there were 5 domestic meters for each residential on that.
Okay. Yeah, they'll have all that information.
They should,
be
yeah.
able to get me that. Yeah, if you guys, the sooner you get me the number of meters you need, the quicker I can get it to you.
Well, Kevin
much of that
Ford
cost?
won't know how many he's going to need until people actually decide that they're going to do the connections.
Okay.
So that's,
So does he really? He doesn't really need that information.
well,
So he knows them, right?
he needs to know what the cost of the meters, and he needs to know what the cost of the material is going to be.
Okay, perfect.
And I know that can fluctuate due to material costs. I know the bronze and, whatever it is that they use for the casting can be quite expensive.
Okay, so here's the thing. So having a definite number kind of would make a little more sense to get that first.
Yep,
The reason I say that, they might, if you need 19 meters,
yep.
well, I might get a deal if I order 20. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do understand that.
So it might be beneficial to get that information first,
Mm-hmm,
and then we might be able to save some money there.
okay.
So if I can get the meter, if he's, if it's say $25, I'm just using a round number. Say it's $25 less per meter if you're ordering 20, then I would say let's just get that one extra meter, have it as a spare. You never know. You could use it somewhere else in town.
Can't do it.
So if we can get them cheaper, if we order more, it might be 15 meters. So many in a box. I think it's 6 in a box. So if you order 3 cases, it might be X.
Yeah.
If you're ordering 5, it's going to be this. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do, but the problem there might come into the fact that the North Carver Water District isn't ordering the meters, it's the town of Carver that's ordering the meters.
Right.
So that may cause a bit of a conflict.
Okay.
That can be a problem, because the money won't be coming from the enterprise fund, it'll be coming from the town of Carver, the money that they have
Free cash.
budgeted for this particular project.
Right.
It's not free cash, it's actually coming from the Capital Debt and Stabilization Fund.
Oh,
So
Yes.
so it only make more sense to have that number first before we start pricing them.
Okay, so I'll touch base with Kevin on that, and
I mean, I can get you. I'll get you the info on the fittings and the valves and stuff. That's
Okay.
easy. That's a no-brainer.
Yep.
The meters are different because it's they may be cheaper the more you order. They may not be.
right.
I can go see Thai Sales. I might have a shot at going over there. Maybe I can go over there Wednesday and talk to those guys on Wednesday
Okay,
and ask them. Say, okay, listen, this is what's going on. We might have 19. We could have 10. I don't know yet.
right,
So
exactly.
and then I can find out and I can get back to you guys and let you know.
Okay,
That might be a better way to do it that way.
okay, but I'll touch base with Kevin and see if we can nail down the number of meters that we actually gonna need. But figure 19 is at the top side.
19 is the most, right?
Yeah,
I mean, even if he has this 10 definite, well, let me go with 10 definite and then talk to Thai Sales and say, okay, I know I got 10 definite, but I might have maybe 5 more. Will that change the price? No? Okay.
yeah,
So
exactly.
that's all I need. I'm just
Sure.
trying to, if we can save money here for you guys, then yeah, absolutely.
Okay, no, we're always interested in saving money.
Yeah, anybody is. Okay.
All right, did we bang that one up good enough?
yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about the well maintenance and the backflow. The backflow for the fill station.
Yeah. So
I-
that hasn't gone anywhere yet. on
Okay,
that, as
I
far
saw
as-
the invoices for the well maintenance. You did the
Yeah, well,
conduit work.
maintenance is done. Yeah, that
Yep.
came out. The guys did a fantastic job.
Yep, and it came in
That's
under
running.
budget.
We got that running. So
Yep,
I think the backflow was going to be something we talked about at this meeting,
Yes,
budget-wise.
yep,
So I can talk to Joyce, get all that information. I think Ed has that,
okay,
and we can get the cost of replacing that. But I know we talked about taking it off in the wintertime.
yes.
Oh, that's still something you guys are interested in.
Yeah, we're definitely, if it's gonna cost us $4,700 to replace it, we're gonna wanna keep it from freezing.
Right. The other thing we talked last meeting was the pH probes.
Yep, and I
Okay.
had an email cross my desk today.
Yeah.
The pH probe, 52.11 and 12 cents.
Yeah.
Yep,
So,
which
This is-
was gonna be for 4 sensors, and we're gonna put 2 of them on the shelf?
4 sensors. No, 2 of them went over the weekend.
Okay,
Whatever. So his, and I haven't had a chance to talk to Mike about this because I couldn't get to talk to him today. One of my guys did on Friday. Walked in there and the plant was shut down.
yep,
So the meter on the permeate tank, that's out. That fried. It's reading like 2, but we know that that's not the pH. What triggers the caustic chemical to come on is the well pH meter. So that one's the one that's working correctly. The other ones do set off for alarms. So that's why they have to be replaced.
okay,
They control the alarm set points and whatnot.
yep,
So Mike did some playing around with some set points, and like I said, I haven't had a chance to talk to him. So it wouldn't shut the plant down.
right,
So I walked in there today, and the plant was shut down. So okay, Mike, now I really need to talk to you. And
Yeah.
he didn't pick up when I called him today. So I got the plant up and running. It wasn't a problem. There was, I think, 58 inches of water in the tank. I don't know what that amounts to gallons-wise. But
yep,
when I left there this morning, it was running at 100 gallons a minute. So I think
What
went
caused
out on
it to shut
Went
down?
out on high pH. So those probes, if you leave the probe in, which you have to, you leave the probe in, and you can get these, something comes across it, and you just, all of a sudden, you get wacky numbers. I've seen these things just bounce all over the place. And I think that's what might have happened. I'm not sure.
okay,
So I need to talk to Mike and find out, Mike, can we just zero out these numbers both ways? So if this thing's bouncing all over the place, the chemical is controlled by the back meat.
yeah,
which
it is,
fine.
right,
The
raw
that's
water.
Fine. And we're measuring chemicals. So by measuring the chemical, we know we're not hurting anybody, and we're also keeping the day tank low enough so it won't. If it did just go nuts on us, it wouldn't hurt anybody. It's low enough where it'd be too diluted. Yeah, the pH would be high. We'd have to flush it, but it wouldn't be to the point where, oh my God, somebody got burnt. It wouldn't be like that. So we have the day tank low enough where we're not worried about that happening. You know what I'm saying? So, and measuring it every day, you guys go from anywhere from 1 inch to 2 inches a day, and it was 1 inch today. So we're right there. We're right there, and it's a good thing that we're there every day so we can make sure that we're seeing this. So as soon as we get the new probes in, boom, we'll put them right in.
okay,
But I know that was a factor for this meeting. It was a budget thing going in, and now we lost a probe. So I also want to talk to Mike about, okay, this is happening when this plant loses power and then reboots. This has happened in the past, Mike said. He told me this a while ago.
yeah,
And I said, there's got to be something. Is it grounded right? It's something. We got to be able to put something in. Is it a surge protector or something that we can get in to plug these things in? So I need to talk to them about that. As long as they're not hardwired in, then we should be okay with putting some sort of a surge protector in. And we can get that. I can have Joyce look into that and order a couple of those so this crap doesn't happen anymore, It's too expensive.
We should definitely have a surge
Every time
on
you
that.
lose power, transfer power from the generator.
yeah, but,
to the plant.
our power, because we're out in the woods,
Right.
You know, our power goes all over the place all the time. We get even just a minor windstorm, and all of a sudden there's a surge at the plant.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had that problem with a shopping plaza in Stowe. The same thing that I've had. Whoa, there's nothing like losing a whole station. You know, a whole plaza goes out of water. Believe me.
Yep.
Last thing I want is a whole town to go out of water.
Exactly.
Because of that. So, if surge protectors, if that's something that we can get, you know, it's more like, you know, those ones you just plug in to a wall and then you plug, you know, like your TV into it.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
That if that's something that'll take it.
No, you'd want to go with the SPD ones. You want to
Yeah.
go with something that's going to get tied right into the panel.
Okay.
And a three-phase SPD is going to be a little pricey, but
Yeah.
at least it'll take the hit on each one of the legs as it comes in.
Yeah, some of those surge protectors, not the surge protectors, phase inverters. So when you do lose a leg of power, you know, does the generator automatically pick up, okay, yeah, we dropped the leg, so we don't, you know, we still need to come on. The generator still needs to fire. That's
Yep.
the problem I have in Stowe. The generator they have doesn't recognize the phase drop. So if you lose one leg of power and the other two, you have two legs of power, the one that they have in Stowe doesn't come on because it's not seeing it needs to see two legs drop instead of just one. I don't know how that one's wired up in Carver. If you know one way or the other, then that's a good thing, you know. Then the surge protector is what we need. So I'm not an electrician, but I pretend to be one once in a while.
Yeah, me too.
You hear enough of the language, yeah, surge protectors. So anyway, but that's just stuff that I know from experience.
Okay.
You know, with the phase power and whatnot.
Yep.
So, and you know, so that's something that, you know, spend a little bit of money now could save you a lot of money down the road. You know.
And if
Yep.
it keeps the plant from shutting down.
Well, that's the key.
I mean, if the generator comes on, the plant runs. It's that transfer
Exactly.
power is where you lose it.
Yep.
That's when it usually pops on us. So it usually isn't the transfer to the generator. For some reason, it's the transfer back from the generator back. So
Yeah,
it's a
I don't know.
bigger spike.
Yep, it is.
Is that what it's doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
it's a
that's
bigger
why you-
spike because once it sees it, it's gonna load out, and once it sees that load, that your frequency is gonna jump up on it
Yeah.
from the
okay.
street. So there's your spike.
Yep, that makes sense. So you need to have some sort of a.
That's why the
like you said, a surge protector.
three-phase surge arrestor will take care of that. I think it's
Okay.
definitely gonna cut it down.
Okay. Is that something you guys could do, or as the town, or is it something that you need us to facilitate and find an electrician, or I don't know. Just
It would,
throwing it out there.
well, you'd have to have an electrician install it for
Exactly.
sure.
Yeah.
I would, just me speaking, I would prefer that Small Water Systems, who maintains our plants,
Yep.
goes through that route and hires, you know, the appropriate electrician. I know you guys work with them all the time to install that when we get to that point, but the surge arrest is definitely the way to go. The three-phase surge arrest is going to cost a little bit of money. I can't tell you off the top of my head what it's going to cost, but I know just the typical SPD ones for a residence is about $140. So a three-phase 480 surge arrest is going to be a couple grand, I would think.
Yeah. Yeah, but a couple grand's still peanuts compared to the 4,700 we're doing for
You got to
pools.
think about the spike too. We keep getting these spikes. It does damage to all the electronics and
Yeah,
the motors.
Absolutely. Yep.
So
Yep, absolutely.
takes that hit out of it.
I've seen them fry well pumps too.
Yep.
So, you know, and not only that, it can do a damage to, what the hell am I looking for? Transducers.
Yeah, the
So you guys have
PLCs.
transducers in your tanks.
Yep.
So it can directly affect the transducer, which means
And I'm surprised that this plant wasn't designed with a surge arrestor
for
or
that.
something like that.
Right. Yeah.
Because we're pretty
Yeah.
new technology back when we built it 10 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, and I've seen transducers get blown. And what happens now is the wells don't shut off because they don't recognize what's the level in the tanks, you know. So the old-fashioned way with floats just made it simple, but you know, you start getting into the electronics, and you know, now you need protection. So, but I'll definitely talk with Joyce tomorrow and see what we can do for that. Do you guys have an electrician you use down there?
Not other than Will.
Well, the reason I ask is you know, we have plenty of electricians up here, but then there's the cost of driving down to Carver. So if you guys have somebody local, or I could talk to Mike and find out if Mike knows anybody down there.
Mike does.
Yeah, I'll reach out to Mike. That'll just be the best way to do it. So, I think that's it for the plant. Dave Simontoff had the grounds crew come out and cut down all the vegetation growth, which was great.
I heard some pruning was going to happen.
Yep. So that happened. That big branch that's hanging on one of the wires out there is still there.
Yeah. Well.
So that hasn't come down yet. I think that's on the Wi-Fi line, if I'm correct. So.
Okay.
But yeah, that still needs to come down. So before it takes something out. Other than that, I don't know what else. What else is going on? So recently, in the past week or so, we've been getting bacteria hits off the PT line, the post tank line. Which I went out there today, took some pictures of it, and I'm going to recommend to the state that there's a kitchenette sink that is over there, and I cleaned the crap out of it today. So I'm going to request that we use that sink. But before we send anything to the state moving forward, because they want us to do a level 1 assessment, why is this failing? It's failed. I think it's failed twice now.
Where's the location on this?
It's inside the treatment plant.
The slop sink?
Nope, not the slop sink. In the North Carver treatment plant.
Yep.
Where the wells are on the back wall.
Yep.
Where the storage tank hatches are.
Yeah.
There's right after the booster pumps, there's a sample tap. And
yes, okay.
It's just not a good spot really to take bacteria samples.
Okay.
Because of the way it's spraying. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how Mike's done that for years and not had that issue.
Well, Mike's a master at sampling.
Yes. Bruce usually says I make problems go away.
So,
it's an experience thing.
Mike is a master at sampling.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna suggest to the state is, be in a bad spot if we can move it over, just to pacify the state.
Okay.
And Mike can do what he wants when he comes back.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's just, but there is a level 1 assessment that's coming out.
Okay.
So just so you guys are aware of that. Kristen brought it to my attention today.
Okay.
So it's just a form we got to fill out and submit it to the state.
And the state might be
They're
barking.
unbelievable. It's like, why is this happening?
The state might be barking at us in the near future?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know what it is? They want to know, okay, what are you going to do about it? Why is it failing?
No, and I get that. That's their
That can
job.
be frustrating.
That's their job.
Right.
This is the problem. What are you going to do about it?
Kevin, you know what I found over the years?
Yep.
The lab never makes mistakes. I take that to my grave.
Oh, okay.
The lab never makes mistakes.
Oh,
It's
okay.
funny, though, how you bring the sample in the next day and all of a sudden it's clean.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what? Lab never makes a mistake.
Yeah, anyway.
Okay.
So that's pretty much it for that on the water side.
Okay.
What's going on, so.
All right.
All right.
I don't see anything else that I might need you for. Does anybody else have any questions?
No.
Nope.
Okay. Kevin, is this the best number to get a hold of you?
Yes, it is.
All right. right, so I have this number now.
Okay,
I'll talk with Joyce in the morning, and I'll give you a call tomorrow at
Okay.
some point and
Yep.
let you know where we stand with three-phase protector.
okay,
And then on Wednesday, I'll reach out to Tie Sales. I'll be out in that area,
okay.
so I'll hook up with those guys and see what I can get for you for prices, at least for some of the stuff.
At least, perfect, okay.
All right.
And if I don't answer, if I'm running a machine, I might not hear my phone,
That's
so leave a message and I'll get
leave a
back.
message. Yeah, sounds good.
Because the machines I work with are loud,
Yeah, okay.
so,
Not a problem.
yep.
All right, gentlemen.
All right, thank you, Dave.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Dave.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Okay. Do we want to talk to Mr. Maynard?
Mr. Maynard and Mrs. Maynard were bumbling around town hall looking for meeting room number 3, which was never
There's
been
no
before.
number on your door.
So, if you guys want to be in secret,
Meeting here to
if you guys want to be in
Meeting room
secret session,
But you have to come all the way
you
in
put the
to see
lights
that.
out. We're kind of here just wondering and wanting to know what the heck's going on because we have received very little notification with regard to the waterworks work that's going on Plymouth Street. We got a letter forwarded to us by Kevin Fogg. We used to call him Kevin Fogg. When was it? In May, saying that the work would start in June and whatnot, and that we would be notified, and we really don't get much notification. And I'm not here to bitch and moan, but that caused, we have a 900-foot driveway, so we can't see the street from our house. And with teenagers and young drivers going off to school and jobs at camp, we had pileups into the street, and Dennis and Sue and I were yelling at each other one down there one day. It gets crazy. So we're just kind of, the communication communication gap on this was pretty bad. But we just kind of want to know what's going on. What's the next step? What's going on? I had a contractor drive in. I had, what's his name, drive in and measure my property. But we kind of wanted to find out what's going on. I think we'll just come down and get it from the horse's mouth. What's going on as far as water hookups and so forth. We've got a long run back to our house, and
Is there a plan?
we're happy to have good water. In case I want to leave this paradise, I can't do that. My house, I can't sell my house without good water, and unless I find somebody who really is really back off of bottled water. But that's not my intention. I just want to make myself whole, and so we kind of wanted to know what's going on. So, and of course, we missed that part of the agenda because we were wandering around.
The finance committee is not as exciting as you guys.
Yeah.
It's like-
So.
That's true.
They were talking about bag lunches.
It all depends on what point you vote. You've come to the wrong horse. However,
We can go off the record, Tom. We're amenable to that.
you heard much what I was saying. There's going to be 2 phases to this particular project.
We walked in during the water meter part, so I think we missed that part actually.
There is going to be 2 phases to this
Okay.
particular project. The first phase, it was to lay down the water mains
Yep.
and to stub out the service connections.
Which we
It was-
got.
It was not to actually make the physical service connection. That's going to be the next phase.
Yep.
Kevin is in the process of putting together a request for proposals for the actual service connections.
Yep.
And in that time, he's going to do research on what it's going to cost to run a
Yeah.
900-foot service connection, which is, that's somewhat on the outside of what most people typically do. But we're gonna make it up with Dan Badger's house, who's gonna be like a 20-foot service connection. So, yeah, well, lucky for both of you that
It balances out,
the
yeah.
water is being made available to you.
Yeah.
So there is going to be more work that's gonna need to
Yeah.
happen. Once Olivera picks up their signs and they drive away and they patch the street, there's still gonna be the stubs in the street, and those are gonna have to be taken care of
Yeah.
at some point. So, we're still on schedule from the best I can tell. I do know that
Well, that's the, we don't know what the schedule is at all. We wouldn't know anything.
We don't really know what the schedule is. The schedule is we need to be done by November.
Yeah.
That's what the DEP says, is that the whole project needs to be complete, soup to nuts, by November. And that's the mandate. So, Those are the things that I've gotten from the health agent. He and
Yeah.
I talked back and forth briefly. But again, this is not a North Carver Water District project. This is a.
No, I know- I
this
know
is a
that.
town of the
It's,
Carver project.
We're
And
gonna
I-
end up with it though. When it's all done, when it's all done, when it's all
Yeah.
finished,
Yep,
we will then have to accept everything under the streets and
yep.
except for the
So
stuff
notice, I
that's.
haven't run for the North Carver Water District before this. Once it's all done, maybe I will, I'm not sure.
If,
It's a thankless job, I'm sure.
if you want to sit through business meetings once a month
Yeah.
and talk about things like pH probes
Oh, I know.
and you know, when you want, if you want to learn about stuff like that, then by all means.
Yeah, it's, no, it's interesting because,
It's more business management and administration than it is
oh, yeah. yeah.
policy. We don't really, policies are kind of things that we take care of as they need to
Yeah.
be taken care of.
No, I remember when I was buying my land, it was shortly after the whole original water problem in the first, so.
Yes.
And I was a friend of Jim Grimes, full disclosure here. I still am a friend of Jim's, but don't see him much. But when I bought the property I bought, the treatment station was actually on my property. And I sold it to Gary Randall in due course. But when I bought the property, I got a dossier this thick on the whole thing.
Yes,
So, and I'm one of those people who actually reads that stuff. And so I educated myself on the whole thing and said, wow, that's interesting.
Right.
And when I was walking on the property one day, Claire Deloitte came over and said, don't buy this, it's contaminated. Claire, I drilled a well and had it tested, the water's fine. Your kids will die. And I said, well,
That was Claire.
yeah, it was Claire.
That's
that was,
Claire.
oh yeah, that was my introduction,
Yeah,
almost my second
exactly.
introduction to Carver, that was
Claire's-
it, you know.
Claire's
And I
a
said,
good
well,
person.
we're going to
Claire's
have
a good person.
Oh, I know, we don't have water tested.
Yep.
Always got along with her. I water tested and see what happened. And we tested it ourselves for the first 3 or 4 years, and we didn't run into anything except you got lots of iron in that water. They're coming to New Hampshire. Lots of iron in that water. I'm like, okay, I'm paying you for this. So, and then we
Yeah,
didn't test it for a while.
iron
It
and
wasn't until the
manganese.
whole thing.
That's what we have.
We was 7 or 8, whatever it was. So that was our first inkling that we did have a problem. We were pretty sure, based on what we had read, that the plume had stopped moving, and if it was hitting anything, we could go downstream with the
brook.
Yeah, but maybe not hanging Gary at the drive. Maybe when he reoriented, maybe that changed. I don't know.
Well, I can tell you one of the things that did change. A few years ago, DEP changed their guidance
Yeah.
on the particular contaminant that we are looking at right now is the 1,4-dioxin. DEP changed their guidance on that particular
threshold, right? Yeah.
on that particular thing, and that was really what kind of threw everything into, because the treatment plant, that thing that treats the water that comes off of the landfill, does not actually treat for 1,4-dioxin. So it would have cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to reconfigure the treatment plant to treat for that particular contaminant. So the option was extend the water line or refit the treatment plant. In the end, we chose the water line.
Sometimes the lesser of two evils is still pretty expensive. That's the problem.
Exactly, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
You can weigh your cost options there. But again, a lot of it had to do with the DEP's guidance on this
Yeah.
particular chemical.
Yeah.
So
I thought they just changed that. Maybe the threshold was so low it didn't make any difference. And that's why it wasn't.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. They increased the threshold.
Yeah.
And again, that threshold has only been met once or twice maybe.
I think we only tested positive for it once. Yeah. So
which means that it's still probably below the threshold, but better to be safe
Yeah.
than sorry. And $500,000 of money that the town has for this particular purpose tends to be short money. If 19 homes are protected,
Yep.
then it's short money as far as I'm concerned.
yeah. No.
People can argue with me if they want, but
No, and I mean, I'm the first one to stand up at town meeting or elsewhere and bitch if we're spending money ridiculously. And, you got the fire department got theirs, the police department got to get theirs. And I don't want the cops mad at me, so can you get by with vinyl siding, whatnot. But I mean, yeah, now it's my turn. But I mean, it's also a necessity of life too. We didn't go put a line full over there, and we bought it, and we had our water tested. It was good, and so we're not looking to make any trouble and have any problems. We're just
No,
trying to
and
get this
that-
thing.
right.
We're trying to get some idea what's going on.
Right.
And that's really all there is to it, and
Right.
because we got to plan accordingly too, and
Right.
and of course she leaves at the right time. She says, well. So they got to put a water line. They got to fix my driveway. I said, of course they're gonna fix your driveway.
Yeah, it's gonna be,
That
whatever.
lovely gravel driveway. you have.
Whatever
Yeah.
gets disrupted is
Yeah.
gonna get put back.
Yeah.
We're gonna, the town is gonna make you whole.
Yeah.
And
And
that's,
that's really-
that's the intention
Yeah.
here.
But I mean, so there's nothing that if we don't have it scheduled. I'm just looking for some idea. What's the next step? When it's going to happen? Because I know Kevin's up to his tail feathers and up to his tail feathers and I was going to say I was going to say up to
Yes, I
up to
know
his
what you mean.
knees and night crawlers.
Yeah.
But it's awful hard to get a hold of him and get information. And so,
Well, the health agent is a part-time position.
Yep.
We're looking to make, the town is looking to make that a full-time position. Because given what they've had to deal with over the course of the last 18 months between COVID
Yeah.
and Triple E and this particular issue, the health agent is really, like you said,
Thanks a
up
lot.
to his tail
I'd forgotten about
feathers.
the Triple E, so we got like 1 month to breathe before that comes in. Oh, great.
Don't forget about Triple E, because it's coming. It's gonna be, you'll be hearing about it soon enough.
Yeah, I know.
Okay?
So-
And again, I'm sorry that I can't give you a definitive
No, I know.
finish line.
I
I can just tell you about what the next steps are gonna be.
Yeah.
And that the next steps are being worked on, and, people are paying attention to this. And
Yeah.
again, by DEP consent order, we must be completed by November. Can't be anything past that, or the
Yeah.
DEP is gonna go like,
Oh, we figured,
us.
there's nothing good on TV. There's no good movies playing over in Kingston, so I figured, what the heck? Did you have any questions, Rita?
I guess that could the.
I asked about your
Yeah.
driveway.
My driveway?
Yeah, that's what your driveway.
we'll put it
Oh.
back. They'll put it back.
Oh
Good as
no,
new.
go to work?
Good as-
How
good
can I
as
get
new.
out if
Yeah,
they're picking up my
They
driveway?
haven't got a schedule, so they don't know.
No, so
Yeah.
those are all the questions that I hope someone will communicate, like,
Okay.
between
Yeah,
these
I
days you
get-
can't drive out.
I guess maybe one thing that's within your purview, you could record maybe a request from citizens that the Mr. Fogg et al. Maybe conduct a broader campaign of information distribution.
I will touch base with him, because
Yeah.
you're not the first person that I
Oh,
heard
and
from.
we can't
You
drive
are
it.
not the first person I heard from.
I'm
that said that
aware
there
of
was
that,
a
'cause
lack of communication.
Despite the fact we've all been locked in our houses for a year and a half now, and there's no pubs on Plymouth Street, we do kind of talk occasionally. A beer gets passed over the property line,
All
and
I
we
can say is
discuss the
I
facts of
don't
life
need
and stuff.
my 17-year-old trying to drive out and drive into the ditch being
Yeah,
dumb
Yeah.
because he didn't know it was coming.
Yeah.
And at
The-
17 he won't know.
The ditch should never be left unattended. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
imagine
No.
that there's
No,
gonna be.
it wasn't.
I'm gonna imagine that there's gonna be 6 guys standing on the edge of it, all doing whatever it is that they do.
Yeah.
That bucket that drives up and down the street, that runs so
Right, I
nice
guess
and
my
smoothly.
fear is that once he gets to the end of our driveway, he can't turn around. Because
Yeah.
it's too small for him to
Yep,
turn around, and he
yep.
can't
I
back up
understand,
that
you
far
have,
'cause he's
you have that,
17.
you have that retreat lot, and your driveway
Yeah,
is
yeah,
this
so
wide,
there's
and
nowhere- once
and
you
it's
get out
wedged, it's
there.
wedged in between Connie Shea and Manny Silva.
Yeah.
Just drive through Connie's rock wall or right over Manny's.
I'm not going over Manny's lawn though. That's one
So,
thing over his
so
lawn.
that, I guess that's the issue, like, just,
That'll
to tell
that'll be
them.
warrant one of the town meeting.
Yeah,
Bylaw to prevent maintenance from driving
Civil
over my
unrest.
lawn.
I already have it on my list of things to do, is to
Yeah.
talk to Kevin about
Yeah,
the number of
okay.
meetings he's gonna need, so
Yeah.
I will
Okay.
touch base with him on communication issues.
And there's not no melodrama. If we know ahead of time, we can go out the back road to the bog roads.
Four warnings, four
Yeah,
rounds,
yeah.
But I have
and,
to
But
get the key.
it's a pain in the neck because we've only got one key to the gates.
Yep.
And the kids, we gotta stop and unlock the gate, and then we leave the gate open, then it closed, and
And then you
whoops,
gotta
I
lock it back up.
I
Good
had
thing there's no cows.
I had a
Can you
guest at my
imagine?
house the other night on a Sunday night. Guys in my house 25 times over the years, which isn't that often, but I mean, it was at night, and one of the kids had parked in an odd place. I said, "Go turn around by the bogs." He drove over a sprinkler head and almost drove into one of the bogs, one of Gary's bogs.
oh my goodness.
And I said, "Joe, stop! What are you yelling
And
for?"
he's not 17.
Hit the brakes. Yeah, the guy's He's a very smart man, actually. His grandson with him. Joe, stop, get out of your truck. Let me drive it out of here. And it's like, gee, I don't need any of that with the kids. So we're just trying to get a little,
Okay.
you know. Hopefully, we gave you a little entertainment by coming in tonight. You know.
This is the first time we've had an audience in a
A
while.
lot of visitors,
We don't
I'm sure.
we don't get a lot of audience.
Well, if somebody shares information with us, we'll surely share it with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you
I mean,
feel us in the dark.
Water district's pretty sexy stuff. I understand that. You know. So, but
That's why we keep doing it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's really we're on.
Yeah.
You're on TV.
Hi, Mom.
It's taped. It's not.
Yeah, tell the kids to watch it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys taking the time to talk to us and so forth because once I wanted in, I realized it wasn't a typical public meeting, and you know.
It's an open meeting, though.
Yeah. No, I know. Like I said, if you guys were in secret session, I figured you'd have the lights out.
Well, now you know when you
Those are
have
always
problems, once you're hooked up, you can always know where to come and harass them.
Yep. You know
We
where
used to meet.
I know where you live. I know where you live.
You know where I
Be
live.
upstairs.
You can
used
find
to
out where
meet
you
upstairs in
live.
the
I can walk to your house.
Yeah, you could.
then-
Yeah. You know where I live.
There was only the 3 or 4 of us, so they decided they'd move us down here. It wasn't our decision to move down here.
It's nice and cozy down here. How's that?
Well, it's cold in the wintertime.
I'm sure.
I liked it better when meeting room 3 was up where Dave Seedendorf is now, but they moved the DPW up to where meeting room
That's
3
where the
was.
sign-
Plus, that's what
And-
the sign. There's
and-
2 meeting room 3.
And now we're down here. It's going to be cold, and it's not bad in the summertime, but it's cold in the winter.
Yeah.
John Woods used to have a heater over there in the corner behind his desk.
Golly.
And this
Because it
is
was
like,
cold.
it's like meeting in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was thinking,
This is the summer.
I mean, how's I mean, the summer wasn't too bad in the wintertime. I mean, it wasn't warm, but at least it was below grade, so it was kind of. But I suppose who knows, you know?
Drafty old building.
Yeah.
Right.
Worst of all worlds.
All right, we'll be
not that
very
old.
excited.
Well, if anybody's looking for us, now you know where we are on the second Monday of every
We
month.
know where you live, yeah, really. No, I appreciate it, and you know, all this stuff's a thankless job. It really is. So I'm glad you guys are doing it, and I don't have to get involved. So, Connie's, you got to get involved, man. You got to get involved. There's so much stuff to do in this town. You got to get involved, and so.
Once it starts, you'll be here forever.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I know.
Connie's doing real good work with the planning board, with
Yeah.
the treasure development rights, and you know, so he's doing good work with the planning board.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad he
Yeah.
found his niche.
No, and sometimes it's just a matter of getting a fresh face and getting a fresh look on things.
Exactly.
Hey, you know, my grandfather would have anything to do with politics, and he retired to Florida, to New Hampshire in like 1961, and in the 70s they moved elsewhere. They bought a house up in Meredith, not on the lake, but up nearby in the 70s. And all of a sudden, at the age of 79, he grew up with Thanksgiving. He says, "I'm running for the Board of Selectmen." Why, Grandpa? He says, bunch of nuts running this town. He still play golf twice a week, and
Yep.
and he says, "Well, the guys I golf with have lived here half their life," and they're like, "Well, somebody's got to do something." He says, "Oh, I got nothing to do. I'm retired." So he ran for selectman. He had a blast, but you know, my grandma was like, "Oh, he stays out till 11 o'clock," and he goes, he wasn't a drinker. He says, "He'll go and have a beer with these guys afterwards," and he's 80 years old, but someone's got to do it, or nothing's going to happen, and you can't complain about the results. So
Exactly.
So that's why we wandered in down here, I guess. So.
Okay.
Oh, appreciate your time.
It
Thank you
was
for taking the
good.
time to talk to us.
It was good to hear from you, and thank you. I'll pass your
If you like,
information.
we'll come back again.
I'll pass your information along.
That's all we ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, we'll get the heck out of here so we can talk about important stuff.
Thank you.
Thanks for making time for us.
No problem.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. We can do bills.
Well, I have a question about bills.
Okay.
Have we got 3 different separations here?
No. We're not acting on FY22 bills yet.
Okay, so this is all fiscal, this is our last fiscal year.
This is all FY21.
Okay. And why are some of the bills dated July 1st?
Due date is July 1st. When is it? I don't see a July 1st. Where's it?
There's a July 1st.
July 1st. Oh, small water systems.
June 30th, June 30th. June 30th. All the rest of them are June
Oh,
30th.
No, contract charge for June 2021. Right there.
Okay.
The date says the 1st, but it's for contract.
I'm changing
it's-
mine to
It's for
6:30.
contract services for June, which is why I looked at that.
All right, so give me a number for batch number 1.
Okay, so this is going to include the conduit work on the well as well.
That's
that's this
a bill there, right?
Yeah,
That's
it
the
is.
bill for
It's all-
16,
It's all in there.
1721.
Right, plus plus.
So he's like $400 under budget.
Yes, exactly.
Or under estimate.
It was under the estimate. The cost is $9,527.73.
All right, I make a motion, we pay our bills for batch number 1, $9,527.73.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Make a motion, we pay our bills for batch number 2, $6,000 even.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to pay the June invoice for small water systems in the amount of $6,000. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous.
You said the minutes are on hold.
7/14, 7/12/21. Butchered that. 7/12/21. 7/12/21. Yes, the minutes are on hold until we can figure out.
Get them.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, you're gonna have to hold on a second.
Okay, I can do that.
I know it's at the end of the meeting, but
Yep, it is. Let me see, what was it, correspondence? Correspondence.
oh, goodness, I'm sorry.
I just took care of that. The pH probes, do we want to act on that?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
absolutely. We need them because
Okay.
otherwise we're going to be all over the place.
Yeah, exactly. Now, of course, that puts us in a hole early on in the fiscal year, but,
Well, it's our job, right?
yep, it is. We're in a better place this year than we were last year, so
Yeah, we're down here.
money-wise, you know,
Well, that's good.
we're in a better place than we were last year, so it's still like a lot of money that's coming out of the budget early on.
That's a quick
We're doing the 47,
brief on the,
yeah, on the surge protector.
yeah.
Yep, okay.
Just to kind of give it in your squash. I Googled it while we were sitting there.
I just said we're in a better place. I didn't say we're in that good of a place.
I guess it's a bad idea to drink a protein drink just before I come to the meeting.
Before, okay, has not uploaded.
good for you.
Has
Well, it's
not
because-
uploaded the minutes,
Well, I
working
wanted
group.
something in my stomach, because I'm not gonna
talked to-
eat till I get home.
I'll talk to Rick about the Route 44 working group. Sharon Clark.
So on the working group, what are they going to do?
Well,
Try to work with the developer and try
Yeah,
to bring
it's-
something to town
yeah,
meeting
it's
for
gonna-
the increase of height?
I am putting together okay, so in consultation with Chief Weston, we agree that we should be creating a working group to meet weekly, even if it's for a short time, to compare notes, communicate with owners, representatives of the project, and any recommendations and concerns that any of us may have. I am going to propose a standard meeting every Thursday morning at 8:30. He said Friday.
Yeah, the time frame everybody's working.
Exactly. Rick and Sharon and Chief Weston, I think it's probably a good idea that North Carver Water District should have some representation there, but if
Absolutely.
we're all working, then,
There's no way that I could commit
you
to
know,
that.
maybe we can do like, you know, if they do it at 2 o'clock on a Thursday afternoon, I can probably do that. Attach this to the
Or maybe once a
agenda.
month, maybe once a month we could send somebody.
Yeah, maybe, okay.
I mean, maybe I.
This is in addition to my
Maybe I
work
can go
with
to work
the
late or
hazard
something.
mitigation team. I'm also on the hazard mitigation team, which is once a month.
Did you get on the search?
Yeah,
No, I did not get on the search committee,
oh, that's too bad.
but we got good people on the search committee. Tom Walsh, Pat Mahar, good people. Mary Ross. Mary Ross is as good as gold. The outstanding invoices have been put into an encumbrance form just in case they needed to be.
So do you want to act on the probes?
We paid I signed off on the liability insurance. We got a credit of $137 on 4/30, which didn't make it to my desk until recently. And then we got an invoice for like $8,000.
But that's this year.
That's for this year. So the credit went on to FY '21, and this year's has gone on to the, what is it? I know I got it here. Distribution, the consumer confidence report was distributed to everyone, so we're in compliance there. DEP can't slap us for that one. The new MIA was for $8,033, which is a little bit more than we had budgeted, but we're okay. And that was, somebody sent me an email regarding a property on Silver Street, which is not the property that was proposed for that 40B. It's further down, asking for, information about any assets that we might have in the area. We don't have any assets in that particular location, so I sent them an email back that said, we don't have any assets there. Okay, and then the pH probes.
So we have the pH probes, that the proposal for that is $5,211.12.
Yes.
That's for 4 probes.
That would be for 4 probes, and
Yep.
that puts some on the shelf as well.
Yep. So I make a motion to approve the spending of $52,11.12 to purchase the 4 pH probes.
I will second that.
And we will look further into surge protection as well, so,
Yep.
that should, we'd hate to stick new probes in only to have them get fried and extend the power surges.
Yeah, especially at $1302.80 a piece.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to approve this expenditure. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous.
All right, the next meeting should be
The ninth?
Monday, July the 12th at 7 PM.
No, we already did the 12th. How about August 9th?
August.
Yeah, August.
I thought July and August always fell on the same days.
No,
No?
today's the 12th, August,
You said the second Monday, right?
second
Yeah.
Monday, August 9.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I make a motion that our next meeting be on August the 9th at 7 PM.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to set the next meeting. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Steve's gonna second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, it's unanimous.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.